Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to What's Up 200. 200. Can't believe I'm still doing this. Can't believe I'm still alive, to be honest, after the weekend I've had. Which leads me on to an apology for being pretty absent from all the forums and groups for the last few days. Just had some grown-up crap that needed to be dealt with, so apologies for that. It's Monday night, it's tat time, we're back on Watopia, which means, I just spat everywhere. Which means up the Alp. Got 3.5 minutes to go. I did my warm-up really early, but the reason I've only got a couple of minutes to go is because I've had to reboot my computer probably 5 times for one reason or another. Most of them because I did my warm-up in New York so I could practice for tomorrow's TT lap, and I just could not get back onto Watopia. I changed I had changed ZWIFT preferences, so that was all alright. It was set to follow the calendar, and then every time I rebooted, it came back to New York. I tried to join the event to see if that would force it to change worlds to Watopia. Didn't happen. I was just sitting there in a start pen on my own in New York. But yeah, on the 5th attempt, I am now on the start grid in Watopia, and everything's paired properly as well. That was the other thing I was having problems with. It wouldn't accept my password to get in for a while. I got a feeling it's all to do with, well, not the pairing situation, but I think my network's been playing up tonight, so I can't blame ZWIFT entirely for that. Looks like a big crowd. Usual stuff. Monday night, absolute heroes deciding to go out to ZWIFT, so chapeau to you all. What I will say is, with tomorrow's race in mind, I'm not really even going to be racing this, if I'm perfectly honest. Depending on how I feel, but my idea actually is to go at a pretty steady pace. I'd like to stay with a bunch so that we don't get, I'm not hours behind. But really just use this as a way of getting back into the swing of things for me, because I feel like I've been away for ages. I actually haven't, but it just feels that way. But also, we have Jamie Woodward, who I think has sort of self-imposed a challenge and a target on him to beat... Crikey, I forget who it was that did it. I just caught a glimpse of it on a forum thread earlier. But somebody set an absolutely mind-blowing time and live streamed it or vlogged it going out to ZWIFT. And I think Jamie has set himself the target to try and match or beat that time. So what I will probably do is, once we've all gone and it's settled down a little bit, and I know that I'm not going to be challenging anyone or racing particularly, I'll just flick my attention to Jamie, and we'll focus on his race for tonight, I think. Yeah, anyway, Kev Stevens here, good to see you, buddy. Paul Elliott Kowalczyk, who I continuously call Paul Elliott Kowalski on the videos, so another apology. There'll be so many apologies about pronunciation of names as we go through the Racing League, but that's one that every time I go to edit the vlogs, I hear myself say, Paul Elliott Kowalski. Idiot. So, anyway. Right, switch camera over, full ZWIFT mode. There we go. Don't need to look at my face. You know what? My fan's not even on. Let's get that on. We now have 40 seconds. Yeah, it looks like a really nice crowd tonight. I'll chat more about what tomorrow's TT race is once we're moving. Because like I say, I'm going to be taking this relatively easy, so I shouldn't really be too out of breath, but we'll see. Oh, actually, Paul Elliott Kowalczyk was saying he can't ride, but he's going to stay here and watch. That's very good. I love that kind of team spirit. So, cheers, Paul. That's wicked. All right, here we go. Clock ticks down, and we are off. Best of luck, everybody. Have a good one. Oh man, I'm on a TT bike. Right, I'm gonna have to stop and change. Come on. That's because of all the faffing around, trying to get bloody going again after I'd stopped doing my warm-up in New York. I was doing that on a TT bike in preparation for tomorrow's TT. Come on, give me my options. Customise. Bicycle. Trek. Let's get those wheels. They're the ones. Let's go. Back. Alright, let's go. Yeah. So I was doing my warm-up on a TT bike, because it's a TT, and I did remember at the end, right, when we load back in, remember to change it to a standard road bike, So this isn't my fault. This is because it didn't load back in properly. So I went back out and back in, back out, back in. And there we go. Ended up on a TT bike. I was very generous. Wilt's rider basically offered to slow down, let me grab his wheel after I changed my bike. He could pace me back in. But I don't want to waste his time because as I said, I want to take this pretty steady and easy anyway. Although I'm definitely going harder at the moment than I planned. But after this little climb, I will ease off and roll over the other side. So it looks like Kev's weighted as well. So there we go. Actually, I've got a little group here. Nice. I've got Wilt's rider, Kev Stephen, and D Burleson. Oh, nice one. Thank you, guys. You really shouldn't have. Especially as I'm just going to ride away and drop you all now. I feel really bad. Wilt's rider's 6 seconds behind me now. I don't know if he's just pacing himself or if I just came by too quickly. It wasn't my intention at all. Kev's pushing on. I'll knock it back just a little bit. See what Wilt's rider does. It might just be pacing. It might be that, as is often the case, I'm absolutely dead before we even get to the main climb, and Wilt's rider just cruise past me. I've got to remember to select a TT bike for tomorrow's rides, or I will be disqualified by myself. Come on, give me a feather. 10 XP. Always helpful on these long rides. Thank you, Wilt's rider, for the ride on. I feel bad, man. Come on. Like I say, I'm sure this is a tactic, but it feels like he slowed down for me, and I just sort of went past quicker than he was expecting. Front, see if we can see what's going on further up here. Oh, sorry, pause the music. Alright, we've got a big bunch here with Kincic, Madel, Stam, Johansson, Radu, Vollebeck, Keith D, Catherine D, Dixon, Williams, Marshall, Murphy. Who am I missing? I think that's everybody. Oh, Delmans, Dunscore. So yeah, real big bunch here who are, what are they? So we've got another bunch here, sort of, well, over a minute ahead of me. And then that group we were looking at was another 30 seconds. So this group we have Janssen, Trench, Venson, Bruce, Taylor. And then just behind we have Di Miguel. Let's get back to me for a minute. Yep, still there, just about. Right, so we're currently 2 minutes off the Nick Taylor group with G Bruce, M Trench, 30 seconds off R Allen, Patrick. So then that must mean the the Keith and Catherine Denton group is going to be this lot here. Yeah, so we're about 2.5 minutes behind these guys. Let's just fire some ride-ons quickly. While I'm here, I will jump even further forward in a moment, see what's going on with our star man for the day, Sir Jamie Woodward. See how he's getting on. My network dropped out for a second there. And usually that means you lose a sort of 10 seconds to the group you were with, but luckily it was only very momentarily. So I'm still here with Kev. Been pacing nicely with Kev actually, nice gentle pace all the way through this jungle, keeping a steady-ish gap to Patrick ahead. Cobra Satting's coming very quick behind. He's worked his way back. I think he had a dropout early on, or possibly did the same as me with the TT bike. But he's caught up with us very quickly. So it's now myself, Kev Stevens and Cobra Satting. 151 behind, we have F. Kenoff and I think Will's Rider was there as well. It's just flipped off the screen for now. 26 seconds ahead we have Patrick. 104 ahead Art Allen. D's on Teeny at 142. M. Warner 220. And then we have Stevenson 242. Taylor at 3 minutes. Griffiths 3 minutes. Thank you, Elle, for the ride on. While I am talking and giving out thank yous, thank you, Catherine, as well. A massive thank you to I don't know if I've pronounced your name right, but I normally see you as HW on ZWIFT. But you very kindly took your time to give me a really lengthy list of possible remedies for the cramp, the reasons I'm getting them, and how to combat them. And I really appreciate that. It's something that I seem to suffer with no matter what my fitness level, obviously to a lesser or greater degree, but it's something that's always there. But I'm always very grateful for any suggestions that come in. The apple cider vinegar that I've been using, that Keith Denton recommended, that definitely does something, without a doubt. I've not had cramp quite to the level that I used to get it for some time, touch wood. Obviously we're about to go about the ZWIFT, so that definitely does something, but there are lots of other suggestions that have been made which over time I will put to the test, and I'll do it in a kind of trial and error individually to try and work out which one, if any of them, is actually benefiting me the most. Let's just give Cobus a ride on just before we hit this climb. And Kev, if I haven't already. Crikey, I hadn't. Right. Anyway, back to the serious stuff. I'll go and have a look at Jamie in a minute, see where he is, if he hasn't already finished. Oh man, Mr. D stopped before the climb. I do think he said before the race actually that he was buggered if he was going to climb this mountain today, knowing what we've got to come tomorrow. So probably a very wise choice to stop there, Keith. I hope that is the reason and that you don't have a problem. So I look forward to seeing your time trial times tomorrow. Myself and Kev and Cobus have come past Patrick, albeit he's only 15 metres behind. I think he stopped just before the climb. Oh, Cobus has stopped as well. Oh man, I'm sure Cobus had a dropout on the original Watopia KOM. So that may well be another mechanical for him. He worked really hard to get back to us before we started this climb. That's bad luck, dude. Right, I'm still with Kev, just about. It's been great having him pace me up here. We've just caught and passed D's on Teeny, but my heart rate's really high again. So at some point I'm going to have to ease up get that back down again. I'd really like to stay in Kev's wheel for as long as possible. That's about as hard as I want to push tonight. So I'm going to gently roll, let Kev go. I say let him go. I was hanging on for dear life. And I'm going to go and try and get hold of Jamie Woodward, see how he's getting on. I will keep riding, but it's just going to have to be very slow and easy. Hope that I've not done too much damage before tomorrow's time trial. There we go. Mr. Woodward, rocking, 4.5 watts per kilogram, absolutely flying. Thanks Kev for pulling me that far, mate. Really appreciate it. I know you could have been going much faster. So Jamie's just round hairpin 12. Let's flick further forward, right to the very front, see what's going on there. We've got Old Bjerkseth, a name I'm very familiar with, but absolutely flying up mountains. And he's flying up this one. Round turn 10 already. Eton is 32 seconds behind, and End of Power is with Boxfish at 55 behind. So 22 seconds behind Boxfish, we have Z Ocon and B Griffiths, just another 28 seconds behind. And then we have another 23 seconds back to our main man, Jamie Woodward. So Jamie Woodward and T Vest from Fusion Cycling, absolutely matched. Be interesting to see how this unfolds in this second half of this climb. While I'm waffling, something I've decided that after tomorrow's race, I'm not going to use this bike on the trainer anymore. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. So, not uncomfortable as in it's uncomfortable to sit on, but the fact that I've got what for me is my absolute dream bike sitting on a trainer here, picking up dust and sweat and all kinds of muck from the trainer, and I don't actually like the way it's clamped in at the back. It just doesn't feel very good. I'm sure it's fine, but I don't like it. So after the time trial tomorrow, I will service my Specialized, get that back on. The one thing I'll really miss is using the power from the rotor power meter and going back to using it from the Elite Drivo, because the response time on the Elite is pathetic in comparison. So, but I think it evens itself out. It helps me on the descents and the flats, definitely. And I was going to go for a little outdoor ride today, but I had a puncture on the front wheel of this bike, of the Cervelo. And I've had the Hunt wheels with the Vittoria tyres on for a year. And in that time I've done sportives, some really bad weather riding with Sean Lowe, I remember. Up and down Mont Ventoux a couple of times, around the south of France, and not a single puncture. And then sitting on ZWIFT doing nothing, somehow you split near the valve of the inner tube. So I put off doing my outdoor ride, but I have repaired the puncture, which luckily and thankfully took a fraction of the time I was expecting, given how hard these tyres were to get on in the first place. But obviously having had them stretched around the rim for a year has loosened them right up for me. But depending on the weather and how my time trial goes, I might go for a little spin tomorrow. Just really fancy getting outside. There's a photo shoot I've been meaning to do as well in an abandoned factory that's not too far from me. So I might actually ride there and take some photos, although my models won't be riding there with me. I'll have to do that another day as well. Anyway, I'm talking utter crap. We should be talking about Jamie Woodward coming up to turn 9, still over 4 watts per kilogram. You can see Jamie closing in on B Griffiths now, just 6 seconds behind. putting out a fair bit more power. Let's just quickly jump back to the front of the race again. Still, Xpresso. He's coming up to turn 6. He's now got a 46-second lead over Eton. M de Powell and Boxfish still together at 118, 117 behind. So not far behind these two guys. Well, T-Vest Fusion has now been dropped by Jamie. It's 14 seconds off the back. But just another 30 seconds behind, Mr. Out to ZWIFT, Brian the Goat Roden. I'm just going to go back to me just for a second, see what's going on. Okay, so Patrick is now 12 seconds ahead. I think he was right on my wheel when I sort of threw in the towel. I was on Teeny, it was actually, that was right on my wheel. He's now pulled well away. Kev's done a great job as well. Here's N Taylor, 3 seconds behind Kev, who is 13 seconds behind Jay Dunscore. Another 14 seconds up the road, it's T Stevenson. Then a 22-second jump to G Volek. And only 2 seconds ahead, S Radu. Next up, 23 seconds up the road, we have T Stam, 11 seconds behind G Bruce, who is 4 seconds behind D Miguel and N Jansen. Next up, 25 seconds ahead, we have R Marshall, 8 seconds behind L Johansson, who's another 8 seconds behind P Holzman, who is another 7 seconds behind M Warner. Then there's a 30-second jump to Williamson Sneeze. I'm absolutely sure that's not what your name is going to be, but I like it. So Warner Sneeze, Williamson Sneeze, and then 7 seconds up to F Lechat. There's some corker names out there tonight. 6 seconds further up from Team Poland, we have Kinol and C Murphy from Australia. Then we have 9 seconds to P McKeown. I don't know. 7 seconds, T Larson. Shall I be brave and try and say the whole name? T Larson Snidergaard. T Larson Snidergaard. And then J Donsbuer. I don't know why I need to do that accent. Then M Van der Woerd. They've all got that accent now, every name. John Olsen. J Delmans. J McNean. J Williams. S Space Shuttle. Okay. B Hopkins. M De Wild. M Stacey. And my good friend Rudy Pausma. Then we have Surf and Ski Odents. Then 15 seconds to J Aerosa. Another 2 seconds to S Karasara. 5 seconds to Kayla Bell. 21 seconds to P Avenant. Another 21 seconds, nope, just 1 second, sorry, to J Allen and K Overgaard. Then 2 seconds to F Bockerud. 36-second jump to D Warburton. 4 seconds to J Locking. And then we're back with Mr. Roden. Oh, that's worn me out just going through the names. Right, where's Jamie gone? Here we go. This WKG Go Juice that I've got tonight is the worst tasting I've ever had. It's the usual recipe, but the quantities are all wrong. I've got far too much vinegar and salt and nowhere near enough honey. So it just tastes like salty vinegar. But if it keeps me from cramping up, it's worth it. Just. So the individual time trial for the league tomorrow. As it's a time trial, it's not in ZWIFT events. I did try to get 7 events, individual events set up, 2 hours apart, so that we could actually get the results on ZWIFT power, and we could utilise the world swap for everybody, including those with Apple TV. But ZWIFT wouldn't allow it. The most they'd let me do were 2 separate events, which just didn't work. The idea of these time trials is to make them accessible for everybody, well, almost everybody, by stretching them across the whole day, so you can just jump in when it suits you. So, having not been able to do that, go back to the old formula where you just select a route on ZWIFT. In this case, it will be the New York Astoria Line 8 route. You don't need to join an event. You won't start from the start pen. You'll start about 200 metres behind the banner, the start banner, which is the orange bridge. The segment we'll be using is the ZWIFT Insider approved Strava segment, which is the Astoria Line 8 banner to banner segment. I've linked it in the race description in the Facebook events page, so you can go and check it out there. You can do it as many times as you like, between 8 AM GMT and 8 PM GMT. I will basically just take your fastest time that shows up in the official WKG Racing League Strava group for that day. And that's it. TT bikes only, I have to add. And that's why I was practicing on a TT bike and started this race on a TT bike, which was horrible. But unfortunately, I'm expecting it's going to be pretty crowded on New York because we couldn't do the world swap, and because it's not an event, you couldn't do the Ryder Cull, so there's basically going to be however many thousands of riders on the course. So it really is imperative you use the TT bike so that you're not getting any draft effect from any of the other riders on course. It's not ideal, but it was all that we had available to us, I'm afraid. So it's 1 lap of that. I did it in about 24 minutes this evening as a gentle exploratory lap. So I'll certainly be hoping to take some time off that. You faster guys, in the A's, I think you're looking at sort of 15 minutes. So you should be able to fit 7 or 8 different attempts in tomorrow to try and get your fastest time. Then following that, on Sunday, we have the 111, the marquee event of all WKG racing leagues. And after going back and forth in my mind about which route we should use, I think we should stick with the tried and trusted Watopia Hilly Reverse times 12. It works out exactly 111 kilometres. It's, I think it's a really nice mix of ups and downs. It's a bloody tough course, especially once you get past the sort of 5th or 6th time around going up that reverse KOM. But it's worked really nicely for the last 2 111s, so if it ain't broke and all that. So that's at 11 o'clock, Sunday the 11th of November. Obviously that's Armistice Day, and exactly the time where we should be adhering to a minute's silence. Obviously this is personal preference, this isn't relevant to everybody. I appreciate different political views and standpoints on this, but from my position it's something I'd like to honour, and as such, given that it's such a long race and I'm not expecting anybody to go bursting off the line anyway, we will do a 1 minute silent neutral rollout at, let's say, sort of 1.5 watts per kilogram. So we'll stay bunched together for the first minute of the race, then I'll give a go signal on the messages, and you can all light it up as much as you like. I just think that would be a nice way to honour the occasion. As I say, I understand it's not something that everybody would subscribe to, but in the interest of the race, you can simply just view it as a neutral zone before the start of a Grand Tour stage or something like that. Anyway, right, I reckon I've missed the winner again, which I do every single time. No, I haven't. Oh my God, is this going to be the first TAT race where I actually get to see the winner come over the line? Xpresso coming up to the final hairpin. Oh man, I'm definitely going to get cramp. Alright, onto the flat at the top of the mountain. Xpresso with the win. Stunning job. It's coming up to the banner just about now. No, about now. No, there it is. Right, let's flick back to Eton, who actually put up a really good fight towards the end there. He's closed it to about 20 seconds. So he had a really good charge. And there's a real battle going on behind him as well with DePau and Boxfish. Just a couple of seconds between those two. So we'll see Eton over the line. Then jump back. And there we go, up to the banner. Great job, buddy. Right, DePau. He's got 3 seconds over Boxfish. He's putting out good power, 5.5 watts, so he's pulling away. Is that Boxfish? Is that his challenge over? Yeah, it looks like it might be. DePau managing to hold mid to high fives all the way up onto the flat. Great stuff to secure the final podium place. And DePau up to the line now, stretches his lead out to about 10 seconds over this man, Boxfish, or actually B Oxfish, but we all know. Alright, Boxfish easing off, rolling up to the line. Good job, man. And then we have Zed Ocorn, 35 seconds behind. Problem Jamie Woodward's got here, if he has beaten that record that he was looking to beat, so have 5 other riders ahead of him. But still, it was a time challenge, so it doesn't matter how many people do it. If you beat that time, you still achieve your objective. Unfortunately, I'm not going to know for a while whether Jamie actually did it or not. And there we go. Zed Ocorn over the line. And next to come is Mr. Woodward. Just coming around the final hairpin now. Just want to jump back and see where I am on course. A long way down. Coming up to turn 11. I've got Ken off 6 seconds ahead of me. Zontini 1 minute 20. Patrick 1:40. Taylor 2:15, I think that would have been. So Volbak about 2:30. Kev Stephen also about 2:30 ahead of me. Right, let's get back to Jamie. Okay, over the hump, onto the flat. Got a nice 30-second cushion back to B Griffith. So his position's not under any threat at all. And rolling up to the banner. Great job, Jamie, well done, man. Here is B Griffith. Right, I think I am going to cut this one short. 2 reasons. One, there's no point in me carrying on because I'm just taking life out of my legs for tomorrow's race. And 2, I have very limited editing time available to me tonight in the hope to get this vlog out to you before tomorrow's time trial. So we'll just see Mr. Griffith come over. Apologies to everybody else. But I've run out of legs and time, basically. Oh, in fact, it looks like I've run out of internet as well. Oh, come on. That's just gone back to me and nobody else. Right, that really is boring then. Right, so I am going to call it there. Thank you everybody in the race. Thanks Kev for the tow. Sorry I didn't get to see the end of your race. Like I say, I just ran out of time really. And hopefully I've still got something in my legs for the time trial, which I'm excited and nervous about. The good thing about it is if I'm really crap, I've got a 12-hour window in which to just keep trying until I do something half decent. Theoretically, it will only get worse with every attempt, but you never know. I might be able to do some sort of sneaky technical doping, which will give me a few extra watts at some point. yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for riding. See you on the next one.